Hi, I'm going to talk today about, you can read Spanish languages, and this other book I found in the street because someone watched my blog and talks about it. The Spanish is the unifying language for all the peninsula, uh, the islands, and Africa even. Um, I think it's considered Spanish as a language, or is talked by people from different parts of Spain, if you consider Spain as a country. Uh, well, we will have talked about it, and my conclusion is that we are not Spain, we're Europe, and that's a big discussion I have established. And some people have say that Spain must be a country, but it will be a country. We will have for parliament our own decisions. Now, the people from Canary Islands, different parliaments who want decisions to be made, they have to decide if they want a parliament and a senado. I don't know what's for a senado, because in our country we're saying that it's bad to have more than a parliament, and now we're discussing. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't know. I think our country has the right to decide what to be or what not to be, and the Spaniards, as we are equal, every Spanish has a vote. I think we should establish a conversation with the population, and the population have to decide from a certain way of organizing the country, and it has not to be independence, yes or no. Has to be I want a parliament, a senado, or whatever discussion we are establishing, more than going by the power only, elected 5 years ago, and now have and forget of the power of the Spanish population. And that's my discussion. I will probably throw away these books, even though it has a phone number in the back from a person, and I don't know. We will see. I have discovered that I'm a king of Spain by reading through El País through the internet. I read the headline, and I know I was going to be the president of, or the organizer of everything, even though I don't have power. Well, I could be a parliament person if I want. Nothing says me not to be. I think so. I don't think there is a rule against that. But the other thing is that I want to be a talkative person with between the parties, and establish like a moderator between them, and establish conversation between them. A person that have talked with me have tell me that I should establish um, a conversation with studying English, because I'm going to talk in English, because I think we have established that Spanish is no longer a language that can be considered. I understand Catalan, I understand Portuguese, and I'm not sure if I understand Catalonian. I don't understand um, past language, but I do have to say augur, 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 augur in different accents, because it happens the same in Catalonia. Every person has his own accent, and every region has its own accent, and creating a thing for having a constitution saying that it's a language. It doesn't create the language is destroys like Spanish, like the king of Spain, the princess, Catholic princess, and the Catholic king decide to make a unification of all languages and create something called Spanish, even though there were different dialects. And and probably Catalan became from that was previous to Spanish, and it has a difference between the languages, and it comes from Latin, and but it has the same origin. It's not that they talk bad, or it's not that they talk weird. It's not that they are independent. It's not that they are on their own. It's that they are their own country and their own world, and everyone has the right to be independent. But you have to think of the consequences of being independent, because if you're independent, you lose the union with the European Union, and you lose business, and sometimes business is important, or sometimes I don't know. I think my final conclusion is that Spain has to decide what he want to do with his politics, and what's best is to decide what politics means to all the people, and what you want to do with politics, and dialogue has to be established between ETA, the parliament, the whole parliament, not only the winners of the elections, and there are different people who have won elections in different manners and different amount, and also the Senado, who is gonna approve the reformation of the constitution, if you're gonna make some, because you can even add an article, another book talking about what you want to change, and you wouldn't have to change the constitution a bit. You simply have to add something that is going to be approved, and you won't need the amount of of independence, or whatever is called, or the amount of votes that you need for changing the constitution. So I don't know. If you want to make the change, is lots. It's simply a part of Spain. It's all the Spain who want to change it, because I believe all the Spain want to be part of Europe. But you don't want to have independence of Catalonia and Cat. And the problem is that independence sometimes means something to lots of people, and having no borders is something that will destroy the Spanish overwhelming gender of destruction of their values, or is gonna create something great, which is that we are not gonna think ever on the discussion if we are from Catalonia or Spain or whatever country we are, because I think it's an endless discussion and has lost his identity and interesting part of it. So with 9:20, I'm gonna say goodbye, because I'm rambling and the discussion is over, and night is coming, and it's time for uploading and seeing if this third video is gonna conclude the discussion.